Greetings O1s to O10s, I am KARAGOTH, and in this video I want to share with you a battle I am particularly proud of, ranked battle, in the most vast map ranked game has to offer us, between me while I was a lieutenant colonel and a lieutenant, a butter bar. Let's get started.
Let's go over the battle plan. First order of business was of course getting a command unit here and to establish a foothold on these three sectors: India, Delta and Charlie, to stabilize a front line against the enemy. The reason for this is so that the foothold I have made in these sectors could be used as a staging base for further major operations. Once I have achieved this, the contemplation on where, when and how the hammer should fall could begin. We started off with a nice aerial battle. My high-cost air superiority fighter managed to take down one of his fighters and was subsequently shot down moments later. After that, his fighter that downed my fighter was chased and finished off by two other low-cost fighters I have called in. Now, at the outset of this battle, he was successful in infiltrating my front lines with this unit here, and he was able to inflict heavy damage with it, and it took me a while to locate and eliminate it. So from the outset of this battle, in conjunction with my failure to infiltrate his front lines, I think it is fair to say that he was starting this battle with a major advantage, both in points and overall control of the map, as I was forced to put aside any plan to have a foothold on Delta, at least at the start of this battle. Having lost so many points in regaining control of my starting position, losing command vehicles, failing with the sneak attack infiltration early on in the battle, and the points I have assigned for the task of stabilizing the front, it was clear to me at this point in time that the amount of time it would take to amass the forces required for a major offensive will only allow for a single major operation. And because of this, my major concern was for that major offensive to be able to reach its main objectives without running out of steam. Because then I will be vulnerable and might be subjected to a counterattack that might push me back along the entire front, all the way back to the lines I have started from. Knowing that after my offensive went underway, I would no longer be able to launch any major moves on the map to secure my victory, I had to make sure that once the order is given to attack, the order won't come too soon so that my offensive forces won't be under strength to carry out the task assigned to them. And the other no less important consideration was that I would not launch the offensive too late for it to achieve its main objectives within the allotted time given to me by this ranked battle timer. Looking at the current situation on the map, I have envisaged a plan to attack my enemy with two separate army groups. Army Group A and Army Group B. Army Group A was entrusted to attack this position, and Army Group B, which was composed of much larger battle formations, was entrusted to overwhelm the enemy at this position in Delta. The overall strategic plan was for the two army groups to overpower and overwhelm the enemy at these key locations at the front, linking up at Sector Alpha, where I can consolidate my gains, reorganize, and then surge onwards to Sector Bravo, completing a massive encircling movement across the entire map, resulting in the enemy's eventual defeat. To that end, it was required of me to sustain my force with a lot of micromanaging, and all the while keeping an eye on my overall strategic progress, preventing my enemy's efforts to derail the attack with his own counterattacks and flanking movements.
Reinforcements were reaching the front lines. Bit by bit, objectives were being met. A platform from which to launch the great offensive has been established, though the enemy did not remain dormant to my efforts and has begun planning a massive air attack on my offensive starting positions. This ill-fated massive aerial bombardment on my offensive starting positions, combined with a massive concentration of artillery barrage, has yielded nothing but reverses to the enemy, for not even a single aircraft found its way back home. They were all decimated by a concentration of heavy anti-aircraft guns lurking for the kill, hurriedly pressed to positions to assume this very role in the forests below. Once the hour for the attack has been set, and the requirements for the unheralded assault have been met, a juggernaut comprised of this huge, massive men and equipment were given the order to attack. Through a maelstrom of explosions, the offensive rolled forward. While the battle was reaching its peak of intensity, the enemy managed to couple together a little of a counter-offensive that broke through on the right flank, parallel to my axis of advance. Comprised of a few mobile infantry units put together, and has begun to push forward. Even managed to destroy 2 of my command units before the reserve units I had at my rear grinded them to a complete halt and destroyed them. At this stage of the battle, I could ill afford to lose any more. I had only 1 command unit left to call in, and if any more of them were to be lost, that could very well be signaling the end of my accomplishments in this battle, and all would be for naught.
Though confused and proven unable to make a coherent response to my main offensive, the enemy commander did manage to show some resilience and got his right side of the map troops moving, capturing Sector India, stopping the growing accumulation of points I was making, at least for a short while. Emboldened by his gains, he surged onwards, but the defenses around my starting sector proved too strong for the remnants of his battered army. It was a bit too little, a bit too late. That offensive had failed. Stretched to his limits trying to provide a response to the bulk of my offensive force on the left side of the map has left him wanting in the right side, and he was losing his gains by surprise attacks to his flanks. The encirclement was a success. I hope you enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making it. Comments are of course invited. And good luck on the battlefield, commanders. KARAGOTH signing off.